Welcome to this session. My name's Chris Dale. I'm a yoga teacher and also I'm a voluntary teacher with an organisation called the Art of Living Foundation, which is an international humanitarian organisation. One of its activities is teach some quite unique and very useful breathing practices. So they're quite fun to practice and yield remarkable results in terms of increasing your energy levels and also relaxing your whole system. So those are the two themes that I'd like to kind of play with today with you. That is how the breath can influence your mind and really calm your system down. And the other effect is it can energize you very profoundly. You know, when you think about it, the breath is something which is intrinsic to us, very basic to us. You know, what was the first thing that you did when you came into this world? Take a breath in, yeah. And then maybe you start crying. What will be the last thing that you do? Yes, and maybe other people will cry, perhaps. Yeah. And breath really is very much interlinked with the mind. You may have noticed that. So every mental state that there is, you'll find that there's a corresponding state of breath. Have you noticed that? You know, like if you're feeling angry, the breath will go in a certain pattern. If you're feeling sad, the breath will go in a different pattern. The exhalation will become more prominent. Yeah? So there's this amazing connection between breath and mind. Generally, it's a one-way connection, but what we can do, if we know a few little techniques, simple techniques, we can make it a two-way connection, so that we can use the breath to bring the mind to a very settled state. So one of the tendencies which our minds have is to wander between the past and the future. Have you noticed that? So, for example, if you're thinking about the past, you know, you often feel maybe some sense of regret or maybe anger about something that happened in the past, or your mind is in the future. And when you're thinking about the future, often there's a kind of tinge of fear or anxiety about it. Have you noticed that? So what happens is this tendency of the mind to swing between the past and the future actually creates a lot of stress in our system, uses up a lot of energy. What do you think? You agree? Yeah. So how can we bring the mind more into the present moment, just not as a concept, but as an actual reality? So this is where the breath helps. You could say the breath is like the strings of a kite, and the mind is like the kite. So if you know how to pull the strings, you can get the kite to do whatever you want. So this is the basic principle of this using the breath. So let's learn a very simple breathing practice now. And this is called alternate nostril breathing. There's a whole science behind this, but I won't go into that. We'll just keep it quite simple, because what we're interested really in is practical results rather than theoretical lectures. I'm sure you've heard about lots of lectures about different things, but what we want is feel the effect in our own system. So this technique, very simple to do. What we're doing is, with our breathing, we're just closing one nostril and then closing the other nostril. So we're alternating closing nostrils. So there's a hand position that we use, like this. So if you're right-handed, you can block off just gently. You don't have to kind of pull the nose right over to the side of your face, just enough pressure to kind of close the nostril. And then with your ring finger, then close the other nostril, just enough pressure to close the nostril. These other two fingers rest on the forehead. Everybody try that? So sit up. It's good when we're doing some breathing to sit up reasonably straight. We don't have to be like military style, but it's good to have the spine reasonably straight. So the first two fingers, index finger and next finger, are just lightly pressing that area just above the eyebrows. Okay. And keep the shoulder nice and relaxed. Okay, so you don't have to use any tension in the arm. If one nostril is blocked, if you've got, say, a deviated septum or some problem in your nose, then don't force it. So what you'll be doing is just focusing on the nose, breathing slowly in and out. Okay, so close your right nostril now and slowly breathe out. Don't force the breath, just slightly slower breath than normal. Slowly breathe out through your left nostril. Then breathe in through your left nostril. Now close your left nostril, breathe out through your right nostril. Breathe in through the right. Close, breathe out through your left. Breathe in through your left. Close, breathe out right. Breathe in right. Close, breathe out left. Breathe in left. Close, breathe out right. Continue like that. So you breathe out and in through one nostril, and then close, breathe out and in through the other nostril. Very simple. So remember, don't force the breath. You don't have to pack the lungs fully. Just slow breath. Be very comfortable practice. Keep the eyes closed if you can, and just be aware of the flow of breath in the nostrils. So whatever's been going on, just let it go. Just focus on this moment, on the breath, feeling the breath moving in and out through one nostril and then the other nostril. Changing nostrils before each exhale, breathing in through the same nostril. Just relax into it. Keep going. And with this exhalation, finish there. Just lower your hand down and keep the eyes closed. Just experience what's happening inside. And slowly open the eyes. So, what did you notice? Anybody like to share your experience? Relaxation. Yeah, good. Anyone else notice? You feel more relaxed? No. Yeah? Yeah, more centered. Very good. Yeah. Okay, great. So you can see just a few minutes of using the breath, something has happened in your system. Some relaxation has come into the system. So very simple, but very powerful. Now, one of the main ways that we get energy is through the breath. Can you tell me what are some other ways that you get energy? Anybody? Exercise, yeah. With exercise, what's happening is you're actually breathing more fully when you start running, for example. So it's partly the breath that's giving you that energy, yeah. 2 minutes. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry? Focusing on something? Yes, how you use the mind. Very good. So if your mind is focused, then we're away from that tendency of the mind to wander around, which wastes a lot of energy. Very good. So this is one way that energy can be conserved. You can build up your energy. So another way is sleep, right? Yeah. So we know if we don't sleep very well, obviously, we feel we don't have that much energy, and the world doesn't seem like such a good place as it was before. So we were talking about the breath, the importance of the breath, and how breath is very much interlinked with mind. So whatever your mental state, there's a corresponding state of breath which goes along with that. So if you're feeling afraid, say, the breath will go in a certain pattern. If you're feeling depressed, the breath will go in a different pattern. Exhale, for example, will be more prominent if you're feeling sad. So normally it's a one-way relationship, but through some little techniques, little tricks with the breath, we can make it a two-way relationship. So we can actually powerfully influence the mind through the breath. So we've learnt one practice already, but now we're going to go on to another couple of practices. First of all, we were just, before the break, talking about the breath and energy. And I was asking, what are the sources of energy? And we were saying that sleep is one obvious one. How we use our mind, somebody said, is another one. If we keep the mind focused in the present moment, then we tend to lose less energy than we would if the mind's all over the place. So what else? How else do we get energy into the system? Food. Yes, very good. So the quality of food and quantity of food also is very important in terms of health and well-being, as the Minister mentioned, part of a healthy lifestyle. So generally, if you want to improve your energy levels, then food which is pretty fresh, basically. So if you eat a lot of leftovers, food that's hasn't got much life energy in it, you could say, then it doesn't give you that much energy. So food that's freshly prepared, fruit and vegetables we know have wonderful health benefits. So eating a diet that's more, you could say, less processed foods, more kind of natural foods, without making a big deal about it. But of course we always, occasionally, we can transgress, but basically fresh, healthy food that's natural, fruit and vegetables particularly, very good. So definitely food's another source of energy. And the other main source of energy, as we mentioned, is the breath. Yes, please come. So when you think about it, how long can you survive without sleep? Maybe a week, something like that. How long can you survive without food? People go on hunger fasts and maybe live for a few weeks, something like that. But how long can you survive without breathing? Yeah, a few minutes generally. Unless you're trained, then maybe maximum 5 minutes, something like that. So you can see from that that the breath really is the major source of energy for us. Yet most of us, breathe to about 30% of our capacity. So we can improve that substantially through a few simple breathing techniques. And also another thing about the breath is that about 70 or 80% of the toxins in the body are actually expelled through the breath. Did you know that? So the breath is the main way of eliminating toxins. We think maybe it's the bowels, urinary system that's the main way, but in fact, no. The breath is the main way, and the second way is the skin. And then after that come the bowels. So if we can breathe more fully, then automatically that process of eliminating toxins from the system becomes very enhanced, and our health improves as a result. So as terms of being part of a healthy lifestyle, I would say breath is really a very much underutilized resource. You know, people focus a lot on exercise and on diet and maybe to some extent on stress management, but really the breath is the key to health because of that connection that it has with the body and the mind. So we're going now to learn another breathing technique, and this one's a slightly more rapid type of breathing, and it's called the Bellows Breath. And you know, in the olden days, the blacksmiths used to pump their bellows, so it's a little bit like that. Now, there are just a few cautions about this practice. So if you have a serious mental health situation, for example, if you're bipolar or have schizophrenia, then it may be best at this time not to do this practice. So we'll go through another practice that you can do if that's your situation. Also, if you have hypertension or you have any severe heart problems, I suggest not doing this practice as well. So if you're in that situation, then you can do that alternate nostril breathing, which we did before. Just for those who missed that part of the presentation, I'll just go through that again. So we have our hand either left or right, like this. So first two fingers, everybody do it, just to revise. First two fingers lightly on that area just above the eyebrows. Closing right nostril just gently with either your thumb or your ring finger. And then we breathe out and in through our left nostril. We close our left nostril with the ring finger or the thumb, and we breathe out slowly through the right nostril, and then breathe in through that same nostril. And then close the right nostril, breathe out and in through the left, making the breath as slow as you can comfortably without strain, and then switching again. So breathing out and in through the right, close, breathe out and in through the left, and continue like that. So we'll just do just a brief period, just another half a minute or so, just to get the hang of it. So remember, you switch before each exhale and you breathe in through the same nostril. So this one is safe for everybody and actually is very beneficial for the heart. It will actually, if you do it consistently, regularly, it has a tendency to lower high blood pressure. Very helpful for sleeping problems as well. So finish now and lower your hand down. Just close the eyes for a few moments, feeling the effects. And open the eyes. Very good. So if you do have difficulty sleeping, this technique can be very useful. If you do 5 minutes before going to bed, often you find sleep will happen much more effectively than it had before. The general thing to calm the system down, balance everything. Okay, so now we're going to learn this more rapid style of breathing, which is called the Bellows Breath. And so how we do it is like so, just watching first. So we just have the hands in loose fists beside the shoulders. Now as we breathe in, we raise the arms up and we unfurl the fingers, straighten the fingers, and then we breathe out like so, bring the arms down. So it's like this. So you don't have to use too much force, so not like, just nice and relaxed. Okay, so as I said, if for some reason you're not going to do that, then use this technique instead. So do that. Okay. So those who are doing the bellows breath, you can bring your hands into loose fists beside the shoulders. Okay. And you can just kind of keep the eyes open and watch me for a little while as you do it, and then after a few breaths, once you've got it, you just close the eyes. So we'll do a few rounds of this. You really feel the effect in terms of the energization of the body. Okay, so take a breath in, breathe out fully, and begin. Breathe in, out, in, out, in, out, through the nose. And relax. We'll keep the eyes closed. Good. And do a couple more rounds. Remember, if you're not doing this, then please do the other technique. Don't just sit there, as a spectator. Participate. Okay, so you can do the alternate nostril breathing if you're not doing this bellows breath. So hands in loose fists, and breathe in, and into the lungs, and begin. And relax. Okay, we'll do one final round. So hands in loose fists beside the shoulders, and breathe in, and empty the lungs, and begin. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. And relax. And just keep the eyes closed. Feel the energy moving inside. And open the eyes slowly. What do you reckon? How do you feel? You want to go to sleep? Yep. It's good. Very good. Yeah? Anybody else? Yes. Now, wanting to go to sleep, this is very significant. See, when we get relaxed, what the system does is slightly stimulates you so that after the practice is finished, you actually feel more relaxed. It operates on the principle that if you kind of slightly create a little bit more exertion or tension, when you let go, the relaxation is more. Try that for yourself. Just make your hand into, first of all, just feel your hand. Just notice how relaxed your hand is. Try to relax your hand. Okay, and now make the hand into a fist. Tighten the fist. Just hold it. Hold, hold, and let go. You notice the relaxation in the hand is much more after tensing it. So it's a similar principle that we use with this technique. So you're slightly stimulating the system, and then when you have finished the practice, you feel everything settling down. You may notice the mind became very quiet. You notice that? Yeah. Very good. Now, feeling that you could go to sleep is, the way, if we are not so familiar with that state of being relaxed deeply, then when we come across it the first time, or the initial times, it seems to be quite similar to sleep state, or that drowsy state that you have before sleep. Yeah? So actually it's a slightly different state because there's still some alertness there. When you doze off or you're about to go into a sleep state, you lose your awareness. But with these techniques, what happens is you become very relaxed, but at the same time you're still awake inside. So this is very significant in terms of how we can allow our systems to be much more relaxed than normally. So still awake inside, but at a deep level of bodily relaxation. So really this is the aim of these practices. So we're going to learn another breathing technique. So this is the last one that we'll be doing. Then we'll be doing a little meditation. And meditation sometimes, just the word tends to make people feel a little bit, that's not for me. It's something that people do who maybe wear robes and burn incense and chant Om and things like that. No, meditation is something which is available to everybody. It's just really returning to a simple, relaxed state of being present and aware. Mind in the present moment fully is what meditation is about. It's not concentration, it's actually deconcentration. So it's a letting go, a cessation of all effort. But for that to happen, you need to put in some effort initially. To actually achieve effortlessness, you need some effort in the beginning. So this is where the breathing can help you. So we're going now to learn the final breathing technique, which is called the victory breath. And it involves just slightly closing your throat and making a hissing sound as you breathe in and breathe out. And again, there's quite a sophisticated science behind this, but in brief, it affects something called the baroreceptors in the throat. So it actually lowers your metabolic rate, it brings down your heartbeat, it settles your whole system very powerfully. So it's wonderful for high blood pressure, wonderful for any stress conditions, wonderful if you feel off center. It can bring you back to your centered state very quickly and effectively. So it's a wonderful practice and quite simple to do, and we all did this technique when we were babies actually. So it's a very natural thing. How we do it, I'll kind of just give you a feel of what it sounds like first, then we'll go into it together. So it's just slightly closing the throat and you make a hissing sound as you breathe in and breathe out. I'll make it a bit louder than you need to. Can you hear that? Okay, and just let the breath return to normal now. And keep the eyes closed and just experience what's going on in your system now. And open the eyes slowly. So anyone like to share? Drowsy. Drowsy and relaxed, yes? Good. Yeah? Good. Right. So very good. So most of you are doing it quite well. That's good. So if you want to do this at home, it's a very safe practice for everybody to do. It really helps, as I mentioned, for sleeping, and it really calms the whole nervous system down. So you may know that the nervous system, autonomic nervous system, has two components. Sympathetic nervous system, which is kind of the fight or flight aspect, and the parasympathetic, which is like the brake, which slows everything down, calms the system down. So when you're very relaxed, the parasympathetic mode is predominant. When you're stressed, sympathetic aspect is dominant. So what this victory breath does is it actually switches the nervous system more into parasympathetic mode. It kind of inhibits the sympathetic nervous system, allows you to deeply relax. So just a few minutes of this really relaxes the whole system down. Okay, so we're going now to use that, and we're going into meditation. We're going to do a meditation practice, and very simple, very effortless. So all you need to do is just listen and let go. Nothing much to do. Okay, so we're going to use that Agile breathing again, or if you find that you haven't got the Agile breathing, or you feel you don't like it for some reason, you can just use slow, normal breathing. But what we're going to do is just place our hands on the belly, just in a very relaxed way, hands on the belly, spine fairly straight. And using the Ujjayi breathing, or the victory breath, I keep reverting to the Sanskrit name, which is Ujjayi, but in English we could call it victory breath. And so just allow your abdomen to expand as you breathe in, like a balloon blowing up. It doesn't have to be too exaggerated, just gentle. You're focusing on that abdomen region, allowing the belly to expand. And then as you breathe out, you're drawing the abdomen back into the spine without force, without strain, keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed. So you're using the victory breath, or you're just slowly breathing in and out. Very important not to kind of hyperventilate, so you don't need to pack the lungs completely full. Just a comfortable, slow rhythm of breath. Feeling the belly expanding as you breathe in and contracting as you breathe out. Now for some people that may feel unnatural. It may feel more natural to do it the other way. But this is very helpful. This is another key to using the breath for relaxation, which is to activate more, you could say, diaphragmatic breathing. So allowing the abdomen to expand as you breathe in, make space for the diaphragm muscle to move down, for your lungs to expand completely. Then as you breathe out, drawing the abdomen in. For some people, you might find that there's not much happening there. Most of the breath seems to be happening in the chest. So again, if you can just do what you can, focusing on the abdomen, that will help. Just a small shift in that breathing pattern towards abdominal diaphragmatic breathing will help you a lot to energize and to relax the system. So very simple, just allowing the belly to expand as you breathe in and contract as you breathe out. Slow breath. Without force, without holding the breath. Relax more and more. Good, and after this exhale, you can just let the breath go, let it return to its natural state, and just place the hands in any comfortable position on your lap. And take a breath in, nice full breath in through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. And again, inhale. keeping the eyes closed, just let your attention go to the sounds around you. The sound of people talking outside, any other sounds, building sounds. Just accept all the noises. Don't try to shut out any sounds. Just let them be as they are. Just let the sounds flow through you. Be in harmony with the environment. And take a breath in and let go through the mouth. Another breath in and relax. Become aware of your body. Body is a beautiful gift given to you by nature. Feel gratitude for this body. Become aware of your feet, calves, knees, thighs, hips, buttocks, abdomen, stomach, chest, lower back, middle back, upper back, the arms and hands, the throat, jaw, face, the whole body, whole body, the whole body. And take a breath in and let go. Another breath in. And become aware of your thoughts. Whatever the thoughts, positive or negative, just let them be as they are. Not trying to push away any thoughts, not trying to keep any thoughts, letting them come and go, like clouds in the sky. Take the standpoint of the sky, feel that thoughts are like clouds moving through. They don't stick to the sky. They're just moving. Observing the thoughts. And take a breath in and let go. Another breath in. Become aware of your feelings. Whatever you're feeling, let it be okay to feel that. Create space around however you're feeling in this moment. Maybe you're bored, maybe you're restless, maybe you're frustrated, maybe you're happy. Whatever you're feeling, just let it be as it is. Just observe it. And take another breath in and let go. For a few moments, just give up everything. Nothing to do. No effort. Just rest. You are peace and joy. And take another breath in and let go. And again, become aware of the environment, aware of sounds, accepting all the sounds. Take a breath in and let go. And very slowly, very gradually, you can open the eyes. See some really bright eyes here. It's nice. Very good. Feel good? Yeah, great. Okay, so just giving you a small free sample of the techniques that are taught on this course called the Art of Living course. And there will be one course, Art of Living program taught in Glen Waverley in December. There's some information there about that program. And I'd really highly recommend that you have a look at that. And also, we do a shorter program over 3 sessions, 2 hours a day, which is less comprehensive but still very powerful. We call that the Breath, Water, Sound program. So that also is something which you might like to bear in mind. So really, as I said, the breath is a tremendous potential which most of us are not aware of, or haven't been aware of, perhaps until today, to really bring everything into balance, to really kickstart your quest for health and for a mind which is much more settled, much less buffeted around by events. So it's a marvelous resource. So knowing a few breathing techniques, having those in your toolkit can really help you, move through challenges in life and basically enjoy life more. The more we're in the present moment, the more we enjoy our life. The more we, the times when our mind is wandering all over the place, are we happy? No. But if you notice that the times when you're really happy, you weren't worried about whether you had enough money to pay the bills, you weren't worried about whether you were going to die of some disease, you were just present, just aware of what was going on, just enjoying this moment. And so these techniques, breathing, meditation, and so on, all these things can help you to be much more in the present moment, enjoy life more. So those techniques, you can practice them at home, and they're good to do on an empty stomach. So if you have a big meal and then do this thing, it won't have such an effect, because what these techniques are doing is lowering the metabolic rate. Your heartbeat, consumption of oxygen is going down. If you have a big meal, your system's working the other way. It's actually stimulated. The metabolic rate is increased. So to get the maximum benefit, it's good to do these on empty stomach early in the morning, particularly. All right, so thank you.